Good afternoon and welcome here today on another Kerfuffle webinar. It's the fantastic Jerry Lyons. Jerry, I see you. You give it all over the web on that Facebook and Twitter and everything else about the hair, but you come onto my show and you're not willing to get it out, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, so
this is why I've had to.
Yeah, so people, what you need to know is that he did talk to me off camera, and he did admit that he's had a little bit too much of a fiesta. Not the 20 minutes, the executives talk about. You've had a proper 2-hour snooze, aren't you? So you're not in a good place.
I'm a little bit groggy.
Okay,
yeah, I'm a little bit groggy. What time is it? We're recording this at 4:10. I thought I'd have 10 minutes at 2 o'clock.
Was it just a thought? I'm going to be speaking to Simon Well.
No, I thought I was just going to prepare. I need to feel fresh for Simon and for the Kerfuffle audience. I want to be professional. A bit like JFK used to have power naps under his desk. Did you know that? He'd sleep under his desk for 15 minutes.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Do you know Christian Bolshan, who has sold his business into Van Milder, tenant referencing into Rightmove for fantastic? He first met me while I was having a kip at the Guild of Estate Agents under the table, and he'd been really keen to get integration with Reapit. He was like, "Mr. Whale," and I was like, "I'm having a kip."
Was this during a conference
or during a conference? So they were talking down on stage, and I just decided to have a lovely little kip. Anyway, they talk about all great warriors sleep when you can, don't they? So
this is it. This is my approach. The way of the samurai.
The way of the samurai. I like that. Okay, we'll go with that. Mr. Lyons, this isn't about me. I know that's what we always fall into, that trap of me talking about myself. This is all about you today. And what I love about today is it's not even about you from a business sense, is it? Because what we're here to talk about today, and I'm delighted to do that, is we're here to talk about your fantastic Karma Club and in general as well, why agents should be getting involved with charitable endeavours, of which, as we know, many of them do already. And I think we were going to kind of widen it out, that being very honest, that actually you can do good things and it can be good for your business. And the two can go hand in glove quite capably there. But so we set the scene. Obviously, you are the master of content, the Count of Monte Fisto and all the rest of it. I was getting lost there. You do a huge amount of content for some of the best agents in the country. But a key part of your proposition as well is this Karma Club, isn't it? Could you just give us a bit of context so everybody kind of understands?
Yeah, sure. So the Karma Club, basically, I run a content membership club for estate agents where they get a set amount of content every month as part of their membership. Now, part of their membership fee, or fiver of everyone's fee, we take out and put into sort of like a digital kitty, as it were, just put aside. And then at the start of the month, we go back to the members and say, right, this month, it's always about 600 quid now. We sort of leveled out the membership. So it's about that. And we say, right, we've got 600 quid to distribute to good causes of your choice, really. So what we found is that members will often say to us, well, I want to give £100 to, let's say, the local school, local sports club. The big one the last couple of months has been laptops. Yeah. So I want to put 100 quid towards laptops to go to a school, and we'll match that 100 quid. So we've been doing that for a year now. So I think last year we gave away the best part of it's about 6,000, 6,500. I should know this.
That's really good.
Which is good because we're only a small company. There's only like me and Wendy, the only sort of.
Wendy does the work, doesn't we? We all know
that. Yeah.
You have a kip on the sofa and she just wakes you up.
Wendy's the one that actually can stay awake longer than the 4-year-old.
Look, you're at that stage of life. Don't apologise to anyone, my friend.
Oh, God. And then after this, I tell you what, if the bowls club was open, I'd be down there now. Don't worry about having a game of bowling. So we do that. And it's it started off as an idea just to give back. I'm a big believer that businesses can do a lot of good.
Yeah.
And that it shouldn't just all be about, I'd lose my purpose if I thought it was just about us trying to hit a profit margin, or we've got
there's enough corporate coldness out there, isn't there? And one thing that agents are, I said, we mentioned at the outset, it's not, we're not having a pop, and we're certainly not saying, that a lot of agents do a huge amount of work. I can't think actually of another industry that is so involved at local level doing stuff. I think the problem is, and this is why I love things like the Karma Club and Agents Giving, is it gets watered down just because they're all so micro, aren't they? Yeah. And by bringing them under the remits of Karma Club and Agents Giving, actually it becomes greater than the sum of what's going on, doesn't it? And actually, the whole industry gets genuinely gets a karma benefit from that.
Yeah, and it's 100%. I mean, listen, I remember I was watching this program about Patagonia, the clothing brand, which is my go-to brand for anything ethical, responsibility, the way they do business, and that sort of stuff.
You know what I go for? You've heard of the High and Mighty store. I go for Low and Squat. That's my particular brand. So Patagonia, they're one of these companies, and there are a lot of them, aren't there, these days, that ostensibly are really, they're wearing their badge on their sleeve. And so what just in terms of that, actually, just not to divert it, but I saw this week that Guy Gittins, the CEO of Chesterton's, was the first agency to go for carbon neutral. So slightly different, obviously, but it's all about that moral compass, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's 100%. Like with what I want to speak about today wasn't just the Karma Club. I think, like you said, I think estate agents as an industry are the most generous and community-minded people. Now, the reason why I mentioned Patagonia, because the guy, his name is Yvon, I can't pronounce the surname, it's a sort of French-Canadian surname, but he said...
We voted out, Jerry, we don't have to pronounce that name.
So let's call him Yvon, let's call him Smith, call him Smithy.
Evil foreigner.
French-Canadian Yvon, but via America. He said for his business to do good, they have to do good. So... that makes perfect sense to me, because our KPI as a business, right, is not our key performance indicator, it's our karma performance indicator. Because I know if I'm giving 600 quid a month, we're doing all right. And that's not, I'm not saying that's a lot either, but it
is a lot. No, it absolutely is, because here's the thing, Jerry, if everybody was doing that, if every company was doing that, this world would be a very different place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and 100%. And the thing that we provide as well is, because of the offshoot with my background in PR, is when members put a donation forward and say, right, would you donate £100 to the local book club? We've had that before the pandemic. That was quite a popular one. Educational projects. We'll provide the PR around it as well for free. So we'll say, right, basically I take a day a month and I'll work on Karma Club projects. But then I look at across different industries, and the estate agency is for me probably the one where I see estate agents doing amazing things.
Why do you think it is, Jerry? Why are there so many givers in this industry? Is it because I think is it about 70%, 80% of agents are 1 and 2 office agents? So by definition, these are small connected businesses.
I think, right, if you look at the first lockdown, the agencies that acted really quickly were all small independents.
They could move like that, couldn't they?
Exactly. But also, I noticed that it was the estate agents, and this is just anecdotal based on experience and dealing with people for a few years. It was the estate agents that you'd think, yeah, but that's them anyway. It was an instinctive reaction rather than a conscious business decision. And trust me, it is brilliant for business. I've noticed that we did a thing where the people that have donated or we've worked with on Karma Club projects, they've not left us, like as a membership model. So I think they feel more engaged, and it's a way to be, because we've got a micro community in our content club, and Karma Club is definitely a key part of that. It's like the gel that keeps a lot of the things together, because people think they're part of something. And I think, especially if you have staff, if you're an agent or a supplier who's got staff, it's a great way to motivate them as well. When you say, right, this is what we're about. We're clear what we're about, and we've got 3 values. You probably can't see it because it's on.
I've got it. I can't make out the top one.
Right, that says creativity. Let's have fun doing things differently.
Yeah.
AKA, let's piss off for a sleep in the middle of the day for 2 hours. I feel fresh now.
Testify.
Yeah. Creativity. Try and nick a kip whenever you can.
Yeah, I like it.
But anyway, our values are creativity, community, and value. Community is a core one. You know, we look for everything and say, well, how can we give back to the community? And we're looking at becoming what's called a B Corp. So it's where your ethics are kind of like, not tested is the wrong way of putting it, but you show in formal way, which would be difficult for me because I hate thinking formally. You put it down in paper, what you're about, and you get branded a B Corp. I think there's one called, have you heard of Just Move In? I think they're a utility switching company. They do a lot with estate agents.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I noticed them last week or the week before. I see an advert they did, I think it was in Pi or EA Today, and they're a B Corp, and they're probably the only one that I know in the property.
It was when you said it was ethical. Did you see me just glaze over there? I had the idea of ethics was there. Okay, so I think I understand obviously the rationale for this, and one thing that you just said really resonates is that actually more and more the job market is a genuine two-way market. Yes, you're giving somebody a job, but often you've got to sell them the business. And more, certainly of Generation Y or whatever, they want to know what you're in it for, don't they? They want to know that they are doing, that whether they're all Greta Thunbergs or whatever else there, a lot of them want to be seen to be doing good because they can.
Yeah, they want to feel part of something.
Yeah.
If you have people working for you, whether it's like we've got like freelancers doing stuff for us and design and stuff like that, and we send them whenever they start working with us, we send them the value sheets. It's only free values, but at least they know what we're about. And like for us as well, the values are, we'll pay you on time. You send us your bill, we'll pay it within 24 hours because we realize we deal with small businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not just about giving out money, it's the way you conduct yourself. And I think if estate agents can get that across to the public, and the good ones really do. You look at this laptops for schools appeal, right? Look at this. It's an interesting thing, right? Stephen Brown should be sainted for what he's done with that appeal,
Yeah, it's amazing.
And that was originally set up just for suppliers. But if you go down the list, there's a lot of great suppliers have chipped in and gave dough and that sort of thing. But if you look down the list, there's loads of estate agents. So they've contributed so generously to something that wasn't theirs to contribute to. They weren't being asked, but they just stepped up. And I go down that list of those names on there, and I can tell you a lot of those estate agents have given multiple amounts to their local area, because I work with them, not all of them, but there's lots of them I work with, lots of them I don't. And you think, wow, that's so generous. And the communities, if they're in one, like you said, one office, two office areas, so they're part of the community. That will get out into the community thanks to social media. I think we spoke about it on a webinar that you had three or 4 weeks ago. The most shared content, and this is coming from someone who writes content, the likes with me, Chris, a couple of others like Data Loft and that sort of stuff. Our content doesn't get shared anywhere near like them doing something for an agent doing something for the community.
Jerry, love your work, love what you do, the business, what you do with the Karma Club is just fantastic. To you and all your members that do it, absolutely fantastic work.
Thank you very much. I'm off to sleep again. I might go back to
you
sleep.
have another dose, all right?
Yeah.
Cheers, matey. Bye-bye.
Thanks.